Hello everybody, I hope you're doing fine. Today's session is on IELTS test band scores. The band scores of IELTS are basically, as we know, IELTS has listening, reading, writing and speaking. Writing and speaking do not have an IELTS band score, so the score is decided by the person who is examining, so the examiner, but the listening and reading both have scores. So as you can see, we have from score 9 to score 2.5. The score has 2.5. You get it if you have 4 to 5 questions right. The maximum questions that you have in IELTS listening are 40. And if you get them right, 39 to 40 right, then you get a 9. If you get 37 to 38, 8.5. 36 and 37, 35 and 36, 7.5. 30 and 31, 7. 26 till 29, 6.5. 23 to 25, 6. 18 to 22, 5.5. 16 to 17, 5. And then we have 13 to 15, 4.5. 10 to 12, 4. 8 to 10, 3.5. 3, 6, 7. And as I mentioned, 2.5, 4 to 5. Now, the score that you need depends on what you're applying on. So if there are generally, if I mean the score could basically the requirements could be based on what you want to do. So generally the score will be lower if you are going for work or if you are joining your spouse. But if you are going for academic, then academic studies, then your score will be higher. I mean, the requirement for score will be higher. So academic reading marking scheme. As we said, that academic reading and academic and general reading in IELTS are different. Academic reading is for academic studies, and general reading is for general studies when you take IELTS as general. Now the band score is again from 9 till 2.5. The score is again 40. The 4.5 in reading would be very much needed when you are studying, because to study you will need to have a score of IELTS 5.5 in reading or 6. If you do not have 5.5 in reading or 6, then in most universities you will have to take foundation classes. So you will have to go through academic studies, because your overall score in reading academically is not good enough, is not as per the standard. So you need to aim to get 23 to 26. So an IELTS score of 6 in reading. Generally, that is good enough in most universities, especially if you're talking about undergraduate. If you're talking about masters, then you might need 6.5, and in some universities 7, but undergraduate 6 is fine. And IELTS reading, as I said, IELTS general reading is for work or for joining families, so for joining your spouses or your family members. As you can see, it's slightly different. It's less in some areas, it's less in some band scores, but it's more in the others. 9 is 40. It's very difficult to achieve 9 in IELTS, if not impossible. And 8.5 is again very difficult. As you could see from IELTS General, 9 and 8.5 were slightly different. So here we have 39 questions which should be right to get 8.5, In academic, you need fewer questions to get 8.5. However, as I mentioned, general English is much easier than academic English as an exam. And of course, it's for different purposes. So the minimum score that you'll need for general IELTS, it will be 5.5 and 5, and in some places even 4.5. So generally, the general English is easier than academic English. As I said, always check with the center where you're applying, because general English is for different purposes and academic English is for different purposes. So this was today's session. Study more for your IELTS test, and see you next session. Bye bye. Take good care of yourselves and stay safe.